hold it. I'm Casey, and for all you guys that don't know, I know some of you guys. Like Matt said, that there's so many things from this trip that affected my life, and I'm only going to be able to share with one of them tonight. And I'm a little bit nervous, but just bear with me. And it's very hard, like Matt also said, to explain some of the things that we saw over there and some of the things that we are part of over there. But I'm going to do my best to share with you about the orphanage, the government orphanage that we went to. We were on Monday, it was Extreme Worship Day, so our whole group got to go together. We were separated into 3 groups, but this day we were all together, we were all working with one orphanage, and so once we got there, we had a brief introduction about what the orphanage does and why they are doing what they're doing. And the reason this orphanage is functioning is the orphanage is for children and adults that have disabilities and different types of informalities and stuff, from Down syndrome to Tourette's to cerebral palsy that we saw, mental informalities, physical deformities, and it was just amazing to see when we walked in there. But the reason that they're there, back to what I was saying in the beginning, is because in the Buddhist religion, they believe that you're that way because of your past life. And so you're born, if you're born deformed or mentally disabled, it's because your past life was bad. And so this organization just takes these people in, children in, and tries to get their basic needs, basically. So when we walked in to the rooms, we got to go to the daycares first. So this is primarily where they get to just play and eat their snacks and kind of act like as much as normal as they can. And we walked in, and the Down syndrome kids, of course, came up and gave us hugs. Tourette's kids yell out different things. And just working with these children really touched my heart. And I know it touched many of our team members' hearts. And we were able to hug them, hold them, just show God's love through that. And I held one little boy for a majority of the time. And he had a deformed leg, and he had no toes on that leg. And during the time I was holding him, I was just asking God in my mind, what can I do? I'm only here for one day. You know, this little boy is here for the rest of his life. You know, what can I possibly do? And so I just continued to ask God just to give me the strength, just to love on him. And I was able to just, he fell asleep in my arms, just help him to go to sleep. And then we went to lunch, our group went to lunch, and then we came back. And my group, we were at the Rainbow House. We had to bring the kids we were working with all day back to the ward. And the ward isn't a happy place. They sleep there, they lay there. They eat dinner, and then they go back and lay there in their beds. And just this experience, no words can describe having to take these little kids that we were playing with in a semi-happy environment to a horrible environment. So we had to take them from the van and walk them, carrying some and holding some hands. And we had to hold them, and as we walked closer and closer, they grabbed tighter and tighter to our necks and into our hands. And they knew where they had to go, and we knew where they had to go. And as we set the kids down, the sounds that you heard were screaming and crying. And I know even once when we set my friend or team member, Ricky, she set one of her little boys down. And after a few of us set some down, we started walking away, and her little boy ran. And she was ahead, so then I had to take him back again after I had set the 2 down. And just to have to take them back, screaming and yelling to where they didn't want to go, led me to question God. Like, how can we do this to them? I mean, they're just innocent little children. And why did I get the life here? You know, we have blessed lives here compared to what we saw over there. And I was just questioning really bad and crying and just wondering, God, why are you showing us this? And we discussed, a few of us discussed and prayed together, and God gave us peace. He was telling us, thank you for, going today and allowing my love to show through you. Because these kids needed your love today, or my love today, but you were the ones that had to show that. And another thing that we learned is that there are no better hands to be in. And those kids, it was a Christian orphanage, so they're getting God every day, and they're praying to God every day. And that was a peace in all of our minds, because yes, we had to leave them to somewhere they didn't want to go in the ward, but they're getting to be with God, and God's going to take care of them even when we left. And another thing is, one day they will have new bodies where they won't suffer anymore, and so will we, and we'll get to see them in heaven. And that was just a great peace, and God showed love through that. And this day is a day that I will remember forever, and I'm sure our whole team will remember forever. And I thank God for allowing me to go to Thailand, allowing the team members that he sent to Thailand. And I thank God for opening the doors to allow us to go to this orphanage and open our eyes. And so God's love is more powerful than any words. And when we allow him to work through us, we are able to touch many lives. So the last thing I want to say is, as much as my heart hurt for those children in Thailand and the people in Thailand, my heart goes out to the lost people here in Ellensburg and here in the United States. And in my personal life, I will be teaching very soon, and there will be children in my classroom that don't have loving homes to go home to, and they'll be coming to my classroom, and they'll receive that love. And I have faith that Christ is going to continue to work in me and continue to work in all of you to allow the people that you come in contact with to see Christ's love. So, thank you.